Happiness is what nearly every person on earth is looking for, is chasing, is trying to attain. The reason that people do what they do is because they feel the doing of it will make them feel better. And the main way that people are trying to reach happiness is by reaching their desires. Today, I'm going to share a truth with you that has the capacity to change the way you are trying to go about reaching happiness, as well as put true happiness within reach. To be able to experience true happiness, the truth that you must accept is that attaining what you desire will not make you happy. Let me explain. Attaining what you desire will feel really, really good for a hot minute, and then it won't. People believe that once they reach their desires, especially in the various areas of life, there will be no more contrast in their life. For example, a person thinks that by finding their soulmate and by getting married to them, they will be happy, or that by becoming a billionaire, they'll be happy, or that by becoming a famous artist or attaining some other dream of theirs, they'll be happy, or that by becoming free, they'll be happy, or that by winning something or achieving a goal that they'll be happy, or by becoming healthy, they'll be happy, or that by becoming enlightened, that they'll be able to experience and maintain a state of happiness. We imagine happiness to be a kind of end state. We imagine it like we imagine heaven, but here in this life, on earth. A pure positive state where life only feels good and no unwanted things happen. Contrast is one of the integral elements of this time-space reality that we are living in that we call life on earth. Contrast is the existence and the perception of polarities, such as positive and negative, wanted and unwanted, dark and light, pain and pleasure. Contrast is essentially the root of both personal and universal expansion. A being is meant to sort through the unwanted and wanted elements of this time-space reality so as to give rise to desire, and then to line up with that desire with their thoughts, their words, and their actions. A big part of life is going for what you want. Doing so causes a person to actualize the expansion, but this improved state of being will come with a new set of contrast. And so the process and the movement starts all over again, propelling the person into the ever-expanding state of being. The biggest fantasy that other people sell each other is that there can be an end to contrast. For sure, the biggest lie that the self-help and spiritual industry perpetuates is that there can be an end to contrast. That it is possible, basically, to get to a point where life only feels good with no negatives and where no unwanted things happen anymore. If you want to learn more about this, by the way, you can watch my video that's titled The Biggest Lie the Self-Help/Spiritual Industry Sells You. The reality is that anything you want and attain will come with a new set of negatives, pains, and unwanted things. And guess what? These things will make you unhappy. So you will desire more. If you are unprepared for this, what you're in for is a huge disillusionment. What's going to happen is you're going to work your ass off trying to attain what you want, thinking that attaining it will make you happy, only to find that it doesn't. And when this happens, you will wonder what the hell is wrong with you. You will change your values and start chasing something totally different, thinking that attaining that different thing is the answer to happiness. But guess what? The same thing is going to happen all over again. You're going to get there and find that it too is not the answer to happiness. Again, attaining what you want will not make you happy. The answer to this is not to give up desire. In fact, despite what you've been told, you could not do that even if you wanted to. Closing the gap between yourself and what you desire is also one part of happiness. That means desire plays a role in happiness. The way to experience happiness is not to give up on what you want. It is to accept that happiness will not come as the result of getting what you want. Wants, by their deliberate design, are meant to create continual expansion, and therefore they can never be satiated. To learn more about this, you can watch my video that is titled, Are You Afraid of Desire? The Truth About Desire. It is tempting to look at the never satisfiable nature of desire and to make desire in and of itself the problem, rather than to make the problem what it really is. That people think attaining what they desire, a specific outcome, will make them happy or end their suffering. In other words, desire is meant to create continual expansion. This is why desire is insatiable. The fact that desire is insatiable does not make desire in and of itself the problem. The problem is that we think it is satiable. When you accept that attaining what you desire will not make you happy, you begin to form a much more conscious, real, and dynamic relationship with your desire. You are able to be much more objective about it, seeing it for what it really is. You are able to work with it as an ally. Remember, it's a part of you. You can't go against it. You'll be able to make conscious decisions about it and with the information that it gives you and use it as a powerful inner tool and resource. It no longer controls you, nor are you in a fight to get rid of it, like so many people in the consciousness and spiritual and psychology fields. When you accept that attaining what you desire will not make you happy, you will stop living your life as a so that. What do I mean by this? Most people do things that are inauthentic to them, things they don't enjoy, in order to attain something else, right? So everything they're doing is a kind of roundabout way of getting what they want, because they think that the thing they want will make them happy. For example, they become what other people want them to become so that they can attain a sense of belonging, thinking that attaining that belonging will give them happiness. Or they work a job that makes them unhappy so that they get money. Why? Because they think that getting money is going to make them happy. We all have to consciously choose into some painful, negative, and unwanted things in this life. We must consciously choose what set of contrast to say yes to. But this is very, and I mean very different than the subconscious process that most people are engaged in when they are doing something that they don't enjoy so that they can get something else they want, thinking that the getting of it is the way to make themselves happy. This is an unsustainable way to live, especially when getting what they want will not make them happy. If you accept that attaining what you desire will not make you happy, you are more likely to consciously choose to do something you enjoy, and thus your life experience will feel better to you. To understand more about this, I really suggest that you watch my video titled, "If you want to be happy, don't do this." When you accept that attaining what you desire will not make you happy, you are more likely to live according to your deeper values, things that are far more important to you and that matter more than your own sensation of happiness. This causes you to be much more resilient and have a much, much deeper sense of meaning and also fulfillment in your life. Let's go a step further. When you accept that attaining what you desire will not make you happy, you will not tell yourself that something is bad or wrong with you because you become unhappy again, even when you get what you want. You're not going to tell yourself that false story that you're impossible to satisfy or that somehow you have failed at life. To move through life with this expectation of yourself is nothing short of a setup because of the nature of desire, and is therefore a form of cruelty. And by this standard, due to the nature of desire, everyone is impossible to satisfy. When you accept that attaining what you desire will not make you happy, you will find it easier to fully commit to the adventure of life. Basically, you're going to take life as it is. Committing to this adventure of life means mastering the process of expansion. You can choose to commit to playing the game of life and, let's say, extracting the benefits of it, including the benefits of desire itself. You're going to find it easier to no longer be in resistance to what is in life. You're going to stop trying to get out of life and stop trying to transcend life. When you accept that attaining what you desire will not make you happy, your attachment to and desperate desire for permanence and immortality will diminish, and with it, so will your resistance to impermanence and death. Let me explain this because it's not going to make sense at face value. The ultimate object of desire is to have what you want forever, right? Because you think that getting what you want is going to make you happy and keeping what you want forever is going to keep you happy forever. When you no longer see getting what you want as the ticket to happiness, you no longer see immortality and permanence as the ticket to happiness. When you accept that attaining what you desire will not make you happy, you will be less feverish to get past the present moment straight to the future, i.e. what you want. This will cause you to be more present. You will perceive more. You will start to focus much more on what you are experiencing and on the joys that are available to you in the here and now. The experience of things like appreciation and gratitude become far more tangible. You will no longer ignore or deprive yourself of joyful experiences in the now so as to fixate on and get to a goal line where you think you will experience happiness. As a result of this, let's say that your life experience is going to feel better to you. When you accept that attaining what you desire will not make you happy, you will not look to getting what you want as the salvation for painful and challenging times that you may find yourself in. Instead, what happens is you're more able to resource the joys and even the best times that are available to you even in the worst times. This means even when your heart is breaking, even when you're afraid, even when you're tossed in the seas of uncertainty, even when you're not particularly healthy. because you will realize they can coexist. Now, when you're in a state of living hell, the answer to feeling better is not to try to get happy by attaining what you want, nor is it using the idea of one day getting what you want to feel better about what's happening in the now. It's empowerment. For this reason, if you're in a situation like this, you would benefit by watching 2 of my videos. The first titled, Take Your Power Back, and the second titled, The Ticket to an Empowered Life. Accepting the truth that attaining what you desire will not make you happy because it will not put an end to the reality of contrast, nor will it put an end to you desiring more, has the capacity to actually cause you to find true happiness, which occurs in the here and now moments on the way to what we want. So with all this being said, if you were to accept that attaining what you desire will not make you happy, what would you change? What would change for you? What would you do differently? Have a good week.